The 49ers and Packers were on opposite sides of last-minute victories last week, and they take center stage on Sunday afternoon. Justin, who has the edge in this matchup?
I think you still have to go with the Green Bay Packers. Look, they've been playing and finding ways to win all season long, and I mentioned this off air. Jordan Love just makes me nervous at times. He makes the most beautiful throws in football. The early one he threw to Jaden Reed in the last game was beautiful. They had the chance to put the Bears away. Caleb Williams, he played better, but they weren't in this game. Jordan Love throws a terrible interception, lets the Bears get back into it. The Bears should have won this game. Green Bay continues to have the momentum. San Francisco is in a must-win. This is a season-defining win for them. I expect San Francisco to come out and play better. They should be getting Kittle back, getting healthy at the right time. Christian McCaffrey's got to be feeling better now that he's 3 games into this return from that Achilles tendonitis. Juwan Jennings has looked really good. He looks like the number 1 receiver out there in San Francisco. They were targeting him time and time again. I know Purdy's got a little bit of a shoulder injury that he's dealing with. For me, this is the time of year when San Francisco gets rolling. Can they close Green Bay out in the fourth quarter and actually, put a stamp on the end of this game? Jordan Love's going to throw 1 or 2 to him. He's going to make a couple of those bad decisions. I'm leaning more towards the 49ers. I'm still a 49ers truther. That Shanahan tree, Gruden, I always lean that way.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's going to be up to the 49ers defense. So they've given up leads in the fourth quarter multiple times this year. They did it again last week. So this is a big game for the Niners. Jay, we're talking about coaches. If you were to make a list of your top 5 coaches in the NFL, would LaFleur and Shanahan make that top 5?
No.
Don't make him do that, Cole. You knew where that was going.
LaFleur, maybe what he's done this year when he lost Jordan Love for a couple games, he did a great job in his replacement and the game plan that he had. And they are 7-3 right now. So maybe LaFleur, but they're 5-5. Got to put Andy Reid up there, right? Campbell, the Harbaugh brothers are pretty damn good. O'Connell has done an unbelievable job this year at Minnesota, being 8-2. Still got to give some love to McVay. There's about 3 or 4 other guys you got to give credit to before those guys. Dan Quinn's done an unbelievable job.
Mike Tomlin.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Mike Tomlin. So yeah. So no, not top 5, maybe top 20. Top 20, yes.
Top 20. He just sneaks in there in the top 20.
I'll get aside. They're both good coaches. I just messed around a little bit. But it'll be a good game. And I think what you say about Jordan Love and some of the mistakes he's made, Brock Purdy is no perfect angel now. He's been throwing some balls into coverage too, Jordan. Justin Pugh. I think it's going to come down to which quarterback doesn't screw up the most, because both teams will have a good running game. Josh Jacobs almost got 800 or 900 yards right now. Obviously, Christian McCaffrey coming back is big. So I think it's going to be a ball possession game, red zone conversion rate, and then the turnovers will be huge. And both quarterbacks have been prone to turnovers. So whoever can protect the ball the most, whoever can punch the ball in the red zone, probably win the game.
AQ, we've hardly seen a healthy 49ers team this year. They've been banged up. Right? Christian McCaffrey didn't play the first 8 or 9 weeks. Do the 49ers have a chance to make a run and make a push into the playoffs?
We've been saying this all year long. They have to make a move. This feels like a must-win game, right? Like going this weekend into Green Bay. They're sitting at 5-5, and I keep waiting for that. For years, we've been seeing them just kind of take over games in the fourth quarter, and we really haven't seen a performance like that from them maybe since week 1 against the Jets, right? Like they ran for 150 yards against the Jets in week 1. And since then, it's tough sledding. I mean, they're literally fighting uphill every single game. So I just keep telling myself, just because of the history and what I've seen over the last couple of years, they got to go on a run. They got to make a move, and it's going to happen. And in my opinion, it's going to happen this week.
Yeah, I like that. If there's one coach I know Jay loves, it's Furster. I love Furster. Yeah. He's a great coach. Jay, you had him. Tell me about Coach Furster.
Oh, he's awesome, man. The players love him, and he does a great job in a run game, and it's not very hard. And he can adapt to whatever the head coach wants or whatever he thinks the line is good at. He's got great ideas. He doesn't overcomplicate things. He don't have to do any crazy formations and all that stuff, but he will make a lot of the similar runs look different. And he gets those guys off the ball and running, and he coaches the hell out of them. He doesn't get enough credit at all for the success the 49ers running game has had over the years. So love the guy, good person, good coach.
This 49ers offense, like you look at, we're talking run game. Jay's talked Purdy a little bit. Like, what's the most important piece to this 49ers offense? Is it McCaffrey? Is it Purdy?
I'm going to throw a name out there, and AQ, you guys can all hop in, but I think George Kittle, Kyle Juszczyk make this thing go, because they can be multiple enough to line out there and run the screens, be dynamic in space. And George Kittle, you saw without him on the field this last week, it impacted the 49ers. Still waiting for Christian McCaffrey to get his legs up under him. I think that's coming. The question is it going to be a little bit too late? Jay, I know we talked about Geno Smith being up and down as one point I wanted to make. Jordan Love's got 11 interceptions and 11 touchdowns, 2 less games. That is definitely a concern. I think the 49ers really have all the pieces, and we keep saying all the pieces, and they've always put it together. They have a good run game. And when you have a guy besides Juszczyk and Kittle, you have someone like Trent Williams, who's the best left tackle to ever play this game. You open the Brinks truck for him and get him as much money as possible. And they have some rookies that are playing well. Pooney at right guard has been playing, at a high level this year. So I keep saying I'm waiting for the 49ers to do it. This has to be the week, or else, just like some of the other teams we mentioned, we're going to have to start putting a nail in their coffin too.
He's definitely going to ask for the Brinks truck every other week, so I mean,
he holds out midweek every week.
He made up a head injury for us because he wanted more money, and he blamed it on the trainers. But Trent, I know you just wanted more money, so don't even try it.
Before we continue with the video, I have to ask one favor. Make sure you are liking, subscribing, and turn on those notifications. If you like this type of content, if you like hearing us talk football, hit that notification button. So every time we drop a video, it is coming straight to you.
All right, we talked about the 49ers and, sort of, can they make a run? Are they too banged up? We talk about the Packers. Right, this offense revolves around Jordan Love. You mentioned it, Justin. He's thrown 11 touchdowns.
Are you sure it's not 16 touchdowns? I thought I looked that up. He had
whatever. I'm going off of what Justin said.
16 touchdowns, 11 picks.
Thank you. Get your facts straight, Justin.
But Jay, outside of Jordan Love, what makes this Packers offense tick? Is it Josh Jacobs? Is it their offensive line? Is it their receivers? Who sticks out to you?
Well, I think it's a combination. They're very well balanced in what they do with Josh Jacobs now, and obviously they have 3 receivers that are pretty good. Watson stepped up and had a huge play last week against the Bears. They have a lot of different ways they can hurt you. You can't just take away one area of the field or one player because other guys can get after you. And I think the consistency of Jordan Love is going to be in question for a long time throughout his career because he is very reckless with the football, very aggressive. He's got a great arm talent, and sometimes quarterbacks with great arm talent just think they can throw it in areas that you shouldn't throw it. But he does get away with it sometimes. So they're going to live and die by his aggressive nature as a quarterback. But like I said, I just think the Packers have a lot of ways they can hurt you. That's why they're so dangerous. Now, defensively, I'm a little worried about them because last week they didn't look very good against Chicago. They didn't tackle very well. Swift had a big run. Caleb Williams was ripping it all over the field. Great bounce back game for him. But the Packer defense was a very disappointing unit to me last week, and they're going to have to step it up against the 49ers.
I'm going Niners because they have to win, period. That's kind of where I'm at with it. And I just keep saying that until they prove me otherwise. If they lose this week, I might jump off their bandwagon. I've been heavy on their bandwagon now for 5-6 years now. You want to see more of those breakout runs that we're used to seeing from San Fran. They're going to need them this week. I mean, it's going to be a good atmosphere in Green Bay. Green Bay is running the football pretty well. They're throwing it well, but they're just lining up with Josh Jacobs and doing what he does best. And they run that duo play, and he just kind of hides behind the double teams, makes one cut, and he goes. This is going to be a good game. It's going to be a tough test for them because, in my opinion, I don't think San Fran's defense is anywhere near what we're used to seeing in previous years. Now, we've talked about all the injuries. They've lost Hargrave. They're down Hufanga. They're down Dre Greenlaw. They're down all kind of guys. Bosa's obviously probably going to be out too. But Nick Sorensen is the new defensive coordinator, and he is not doing anything. I mean, he is not pressuring. He's not blitzing. He's not twisting the guys up. It's nothing. It's just line up with 4 and rush, and they're going to need to do something more than that.
He's probably scared to death because Wilkes took him to a Super Bowl and got fired, so he's probably scared to do anything.
Want to win money watching football? With Underdog, you could win up to 1,000 times your cash just by picking higher or lower on your favorite player's stats, like whether or not your team's running back will score a touchdown this weekend. Millions of fans have won billions of dollars on Underdog. Will you be next? Sign up now to get a free pick for your first cash entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. Download the Underdog app or visit UnderdogFantasy.com to get started today.
Coming to you, Pugh, what do you like this weekend? Who do you think is going to come out on top?
Yeah, I'm with AQ on this one. I think it's San Fran. It's a must win. It's a playoff atmosphere. But the NFC North, you can't fall too far behind in that division as well if you're the Green Bay Packers, because Minnesota and Detroit is ahead of you. So it isn't like Green Bay is going to come into this game sleepwalking. They probably had this game circled on the calendar. Green Bay and San Fran have had battles throughout the year. The hungrier dog is going to prevail in this one. I think San Fran's going to find a way to get it done and resurrect their season.
Must win. What are you guys talking about? Every game is a must win.
Here we go.
The Packers are 7-3. They got to keep pace with the Lions. They're still trying to win the division and get a number 1 seed or a top 4 seed so they get a home game. This is a must win for the Packers too. They're at home. It's hard to play in Green Bay. They're going to come out firing. I'm taking Green Bay Packers. Hungrier dog. They're going to be hungry now. The Packers are going to be hungry.
Yeah, the must win is talking about us. Like, we look at the situation. We're not in the rooms. We see them at 5-5. They kind of reeling. They lost a game last week. They have banged up. They got to prove something to us to go in there and win. But I'm with you. Packers need to win too. Keep up in their division, and that's why I'm taking Green Bay. I mean, they're at home. Jordan Love looks to be a little bit healthier. They got a road win in the division at Chicago last week. I think their defense is solid. And the 49ers are just going to have to prove it to me. I mean, we've picked the 49ers every week, and I just think that the Packers are in a situation where they're wanting to keep pace, and I think Jordan Love goes off, and I like the Packers this week.
Bosa is going to be a big thing. If Bosa's playing, he's a game wrecker. They need Bosa to play.
He looked bad walking off the field, man. I don't think he's going to play, and that's Jordan Love has some more time to hit Tucker Kraft, hit Romeo Dubes, and I mean, they're pretty good. I like the Packers. Let's go Pack.
Let's get Gruden a cheesehead.